Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews. I'm your host, Matt Spease, and today we're doing another ranking video. This time we are ranking the top 10 killer shark films. Now on this list, it's very similar to the Hammer films ranking that I did. It can include multiple movies of the same series, similar to where I had multiple Frankenstein films and multiple Dracula films. So this is not like the action films, because there's so many of those, or the buddy cop movies where you have to pick one film to represent each series. This is not like that. So before I start, don't forget to make a comment down here below and let me know what your 10 favorite killer shark movies will be. Do you classify the Sharknado movies or some of these outrageous land shark or ice shark, some of these crazy, goofy shark movies, three-headed shark movies on your list? And if you like these videos, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's get on with the rankings. Starting with number 10, with The Deep, 1977. The Deep stars Robert Shaw, Nick Nolte, and Jacqueline Bisset, and actually has an appearance by Louis Gossett Jr. long before he did Jaws 3D.
You must be the young couple who found that bottle this afternoon?
Certainly didn't look like anything.
We didn't find any bottle.
Now this film is another film that is based on a Peter Benchley novel that was very successful around the same time as Jaws. And it doesn't have a lot of killer shark moments in it, but it does have some really good shark stuff in it. That's why I included it on this list. But it's so low down on the list because it's more of a treasure film where the main characters of Nick Nolte, Robert Shaw, and Jacqueline Bisset are trying to find this treasure underwater. And the acting in this is so amazing. It is a really good movie, and it is very underrated. Nobody hardly ever talks about this movie that much anymore. And that's a shame, because it is a really well-acted, well-directed film. And it's almost like you're getting Quint back in this film.
I'm going to signal you and I'm going to fire this fuse. Now after that, I don't care if you found the Holy Grail itself.
And he's teamed with Nick Nolte, of all people, and Jacqueline Bisset. Come on. How awesome is that? But yeah, it is my number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have Great White from 1981. Great White is also known under the title The Last Shark. Now, this film got in trouble back in the day because filmmakers decided, to really lean a little bit too far toward ripping off Jaws and Jaws 2. And they basically, even took some footage from Jaws and Jaws 2 and put it into this film in spots. The shark that they did make for the film isn't too bad. I mean, for a lower budgeted film like this film is, they did a pretty good job on it. But it's kind of like the shark in Jaws. And they kind of try to show it a little bit too much, and it makes it look too fake in moments. if they would have doubled down on not showing it as much, could have been quite effective. But yeah, the performances in this are pretty good. Of course, it is an Italian movie, so a lot of the actors in it are dubbed in English, and it's really, for people that don't like movies dubbed, that might be an off. I don't mind it. I mean, I actually love Italian horror films and slasher films and stuff like that, you know. So didn't bother me any, and I really enjoy the film, but it's just not the upper echelon. So that's why I decided to put it at number 9. Coming in at number 8, we have 47 Meters Down from 2017. This film is a really tense film, and it doesn't have a lot of other actors in it. It's mostly Mandy Moore and the other actress playing her sister or friend in it. That I just can't remember her name, but Mandy Moore is the main star of this thing. Let's be honest. And it's a really tense film where they are stuck. Their cage, when they're observing underwater, ends up getting detached from the boat, and they end up floating to the bottom of the ocean and are attacked consistently by these sharks. These sequences that are really tense because one of them has an injury and there's blood, you know, and that causes the shark to come, you know. So this is a really tense, really cool movie. So that's why I put it this on the list. My number 7 is The Meg from 2018. The Meg stars Jason Statham, and it is basically what you would have got if you got a Jaws film where Jason Statham is going against Jaws. It's shark in this is a megalodon, so it's bigger than the shark in Jaws. So it's like, hey, let's go bigger than what Jaws did. But it doesn't make it better. It's still a good film, but some of the effects are a little too CG. They show the shark a little too much in some scenes. Now, when it's subtle and when the shark is not shown as much, it's a very good film as far as that. So that's why it's a little lower down on my list, is because when they show the shark too much, when they show the megalodon too much, it becomes a little distracting. But not a bad film, and if you're in, you want more of an action style killer shark movie, this is the one for you. Coming in at number 6 is Shark Attack 2 from 2000. Now, the Shark Attack films, Shark Attack was a good enough film. But what makes it not make my list is that the fact that they basically never use a fake shark, animatronic shark, or anything like that to put a shark in the scenes with the actors. They always just either, throw an actor into the water, make it look like they're in danger, they're flailing into the water, and they show footage of a real shark swimming up and then chomping at something, and then they show the people, screaming and blood engulfing the water to signify that the person got attacked by that shark. And it just wasn't really believable in that film. Shark Attack 2 was a really good combination of real shark footage and a really good pretty good animatronic shark for the most part. And they don't show the shark too much. And they even had a little bit, just a little bit, of CGI shark in there. It wasn't too much of either. And that's why this one works. Shark Attack 3 kind of went in an outrageous, and it's a funny film. It makes you laugh your ass off because they had moments where this big, gigantic, megalodon-sized shark is eating people, and it's using real shark footage, but it's just so outrageous and goofy that's where it's not on the list because of that. Shark Attack 2 is that perfect moment in between it, and that's why it's number 6 on my list. Coming in at number 5, we have 12 Days of Terror from 2004. This film is based on the shark attacks in New Jersey, where I believe it was a bull shark, was killing people. It was the inspiration for Peter Benchley to write Jaws. These are true life events, and this movie is a really good recreation of the events that happened during that. And that's what makes this one pretty good, because it's not about a great white, it's about a bull shark, and the bull shark is pretty tense and pretty badass in this film. And there are moments when because a bull shark can attack in ponds, in where a pond outlets to the ocean, and it can slide right into there, and it can survive in that. Unlike a great white couldn't do that. And some other sharks couldn't do that. So a bull shark can do that. So they had some sequences where it attacks in pretty shallow water. And that was pretty tense, seeing it slide in and attack people like that. And the shark effects are pretty good. It's kind of like Shark Attack 2, where they use a mixture of animatronic sharks and real shark shots and stuff, and they make it work really well. And of course, the film has its own version of Quint in there, played by John Rys Davies, who is just amazing. He played Sala in the Indiana Jones films, and he is great in here, playing this old captain. So this is my number 5. Number 4 is Deep Blue Sea from 1999. Now, Deep Blue Sea is a little bit on the ridiculous side because it's more of an action film. Rennie Harlan directed this, and he made it more of a action kind of film. And of course, the sharks in this are not great whites or megalodons or bull sharks. They are makos. So it makes it a unique experience for that, except for the fact that marketing teams decided to make the movie poster showing Saffron Burrows in the water and having a great white raising up out of the water behind her, when there's no great white in this film. There's a difference between a great white shark and a mako shark. They have a different look. But this movie has a really good cast, really good performances, and for the most part they try to stick with animatronic sharks, which looks great whenever they do that, but whenever they veer into the CGI sharks, it kind of gets a little ridiculous, like a certain scene with Samuel L. Jackson.
So we're not going to fight anymore. We're going to pull together and we're going to find a way to get out of here. First, we're going to seal off this.
But what a cast. I mean, you have Saffron Burrows, you have Thomas Jane, you have Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Rappaport, LL Cool J. I mean, and Stellan Skarsgård is in the film. That's a pretty amazing cast in a killer shark movie that's supposed to be just basically, this action film. All the dumbass sequels they made to this were horrible. And so you won't be able to see Deep Blue Sea 2 or Deep Blue Sea 3 on my list. Those movies suck. They're not near what this one was. And that's why it's so high on my list. Now, we're coming into the top 3. Number 3, The Shallows from 2016. Shallows is a lot like 47 Meters Down. It's got a very limited cast to it. And Blake Lively is amazing in this film with her performance. She puts so much into her role in this film. Most of the other actors and everything in it are, other than her family, her sister and her dad, who are seen only on the phone talking to her through most of the movie. Most of the actors are foreign actors and everything, but they do pretty good in this. And the shark in this thing is brutal. This is the best killer shark movie other than the Jaws films. I mean, this thing was tense. The shark looks pretty real throughout most of it. There's hardly any moments of this like Deep Blue Sea where the shark looks ridiculous. This shark looks pretty good throughout most of this movie. And they do it really well. They shoot the shark in a way that it really looks effective and real. It's terrifying. This film is tense. It will scare the hell out of you, and it works perfectly. So that's why it makes my number 3 spot. Blake Lively is amazing in this film. If you have not seen this, you definitely need to see it now. It is great. Coming in at number 2, we have Jaws 2, 1978. Now, as most of you saw, I've already reviewed this movie. There's not much more I can say about it. It's neck and neck with my number 1. If you've been paying attention to the list, you know you can try to figure out what a number 1 is. But Jaws 2 is, as I said in my review, it's a really tense, really cool slasher type film with a shark, where just like a slasher's hunting teenagers, this slasher version of a shark is hunting these teenagers down in the ocean, and it is just an intense, awesome film. Performances are great in it. You get the return of Roy Scheider, you get the return of Murray Hamilton, and you get the return of Lorraine Gary. And it is, there's not much more I can say about this one that I didn't say in my review. It is an amazing killer shark film. Only surpassed by one other film. And that brings me to number 1. Greatest killer shark film of all time. Jaws from 1975. Like I said in my Jaws review, this thing, like I said, it's hard to place these two, rank them, Jaws and Jaws 2 because they are so good in their own merits. But this one, I think, edges out Jaws 2 just narrowly because of the dynamics between Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, and Richard Dreyfuss. This film is just, those moments, see where they are, the character development between those three as they're trying to hunt the shark down is great. And it's those scenes and those moments in this film that make it the #1 killer shark movie. And that's why it makes the #1 on my top 10 killer shark films. So, do you agree with my list? Do you disagree with my list? Do you have a different list? Please comment down below. Give me your list. Give me why you think my list is incorrect. Because we all have our own opinions. So, let me know what you think. I will comment on anything you guys say, you know, because nobody's wrong. It's everybody's opinion, you know. My list doesn't have to be the same as your list. So, comment down below, please, you know. Discuss it, you know. Let's discuss this. Anyway, I hope you have liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, because it really does help the channel out a lot. And if you're enjoying these ranking videos alongside the regular reviews, let me know, man, in the comments, and I will keep churning these things out because I'm enjoying doing this. Hope you've enjoyed this ranking video, and we will see you next time.